Well, hey everybody, it's your good buddy 650 Eve here, coming to you from Sills Motor Sales, where in today's episode of the new bike build series, we're going to install 520 pitch chain and sprockets onto our 2021 Honda CBR 1000RR-R Fireblade SP. We're also changing the gearing on this fantastic motorcycle to make it more rideable and usable for all of the 6 gears. Right now, the bike is so over-geared and fast that even at around, I don't know, 170, 80, 90 miles an hour, you're still in 5th gear on that fantastic machine. We're going to change that here today and see how it works out. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, tap that bell and you'll get notified when new content is uploaded. So after we install these parts into the bike, I'm going to take it out for a cruise, see how the new gearing is, and then hopefully we'll be able to get some smackdown activities with some of my good buddies to see if the bike's faster or not.
What's up? We're back with our Honda CBR 1000RR-R.
And so many R's.
We are gonna put some chain sprockets on it today. I can't believe we haven't done that yet.
Yep.
This looks like it has at least a 525, if not a 530 on it. Let's see what it says. 525.
Okay.
DID chain. It's held up pretty well. We haven't had to adjust it a million times or anything. You can see there's still adjustment in it, so that's good. They put a decent chain on it. But we're gonna drop it down to our favorite EK chain and Vortex sprockets. Okay. We got the big axle socket out. I think this was pretty tight too, if I remember correctly. Yeah, pretty tight, right?
Oh boy. Are you gonna have to jump on it?
I think we're gonna need a bigger bar.
Woo.
All right. Well, that was definitely not going anywhere.
Yeah.
That's Ducati tight.
Yeah.
What do we got to do to get to the front? Looks like we got to pull the shift rod. They got a nice little dot there though, so we know right where to put the gap in it when we return it. So that's nice. I like it when they do that. And then we just got to remove the plastic cover. Oh, that's smaller than that. We can get to our front sprocket nut and loosen that up while the back wheel's still on. And this is a 16-tooth sprocket up here, so we're doing a big change there. Whenever you change a tooth count up front, that's like doing 2 in the rear.
Okay.
So we're dropping 1 in the front, so that's like adding 2 teeth in the rear. So it's going to give us more torque.
Okay.
And then let's see, our rear is 43, so we're going up 1. So it's like we're adding 3 teeth to the rear sprocket. Yeah, so it should be super torquey now. It's already pretty torquey. Might lose its non-wheeling function.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's get this old chain out of the way. And our front sprocket just slides right off the splines.
All right.
Back one we have to unbolt. This whole setup did feel pretty light for being factory stuff.
Okay. That sounds promising.
Yeah. Here's our front sprocket. You can see that there's different size collar on either side of it. I've actually contacted Vortex before. They say their writing always goes out, so we're gonna go with that. And then we'll double check it. We'll double check our chain alignment, because this is what controls how straight our chain is from the rear wheel. That spacing. We'll wait to put that back in. So we're just gonna put our washers. These are what's known as a mechanical type lock nut. You can see the little flanges there. That actually locks against the thread, but we're gonna go ahead and put some red Loctite on it too, just because I don't want this to go anywhere.
Me neither.
And so far we've had success with red Loctite back here. 64 Newton meters on the sprocket nuts.
Okay. Or as I call it, Sir Isaac Newton meters?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. All the way around 2 times. That shouldn't go anywhere. Now we got these little rubber judder dampers. They're always so much fun.
Okay. Are they effective at whatever they're supposed to do?
So it separates your hub from the wheel. That way it's not constantly trying to rip this out of the wheel.
Okay.
It absorbs some of the energy. Yeah, it's effective. Some of the S1000s, actually, these are starting to wear, but they came out with the spec that you're allowed 3 millimeters of play, which is a ton, so I guess they don't want to replace them.
Okay.
Because it actually rocks. You'll notice that your sprocket will rock back and forth, and they say if it rocks 3 millimeters, that's all right.
Wow.
Seems like a lot, but go with it. We'll put some grease on that. No quick release rear axle here, that's for sure.
No, unlike the M.
Unlike the M. Super spoiled by that. That's all I want to work on.
Yeah, I don't blame you. There's one right here you're working on.
Yup.
What's the situation with this one?
Getting it ready to go to the track.
Okay. Nice.
Waiting on some parts to arrive from Moto Million. All right. That'll spin a lot better now that it has some grease on those. Those were pretty dry. Okay. Let's see if they greased up the axle at all. No, no grease there.
Okay.
So definitely want to put some grease on that. Not so it spins better, but just so it comes apart and goes together better.
Yes.
All right, 3 days later, we got our back wheel on.
Okay.
Thanks to the pit bull lift.
Oh yeah, that thing's a lifesaver.
It really is. Third hand. We're gonna put some red Loctite on our front bolt. Torque that down. You can see the process is pretty much the same as doing the S1000s.
Okay.
Cool. Two more O-rings on the outside. Hopefully they stay put for just a second. Try to get a little bit of grease to hold them in place. There's little cutouts for the pins that need to line up, so if you feel too much resistance, just gotta stop and line them up. It should push on fairly easily. And then we don't want to go too far and squish the O-rings too much. So stop. Make sure everything moves, it does. We want to be about 18, 18.17, perfect. That's what the other plates around it were.
Okay.
And now we just got to rivet these little pins that are sticking out. They're just going to smash over, and that's what keeps that plate from falling off, even though it is pressed on there pretty tightly. I don't know if you can see the difference if you come in up from the front there, the one that got pressed together against the one that's not been pressed yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the dimple in there. So that's all we're looking for. You don't have to go crazy. If you go too tight, it'll crack it, and that's not really safe. So we try not to do that. I wish there was a better guide for usually you could also measure before and after. It usually winds up about 5.3 by the time you're done. So those are both good. This is just an old O-ring from the other chain. Everything still moves, so that's awesome. Looks nice and straight. Front sprocket looks to be in the correct position. $135, so just 10 Newton meters tighter than our M1000 bike.
Okay.
Now we just gotta double check this chain here. That's pretty good. We'll snug up the chain adjusters if I could find the other wrench. Get a final cleaning and lube on our chain here. I think we'll be ready for a ride.
Nice.
Got the front sprocket cover back on. Can't see the cool looking Vortex sprocket, but oh well.
It's there.
It's there.
Trust
We didn't
us.
change it.
Well, what do you think?
Well, can't put that in just anyone's hands anymore. Holy cow, that might have been a bit too much on the gearing.
Really?
Oh, it wheelies like crazy.
In first and second?
Yeah, first and second, but it is holy lightning torque on tap, ready to go. There's a little dull spot right at the beginning of the throttle, and then it just shoots off like a rocket. I mean, it's fun. That we gotta get a tire on there too, because it's just sliding all over the place.
Okay.
What? Yeah, I don't know. We have to go back up one tooth on that rear sprocket.
Okay.
Just because that's a bit much. That'd be awesome to shoot from corner to corner, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It gets to the power a lot quicker. A lot quicker. Totally different bike.
Wow. So Zach got to ride the bike after he installed the 520 chain and sprockets. Now it's my turn to see how this thing performs with different gearing. This gearing, by the way, was recommended by everyone pretty much on the CBR Fireblade forum. They say that it makes the bike more peppy and it makes all of the gears usable now. Zach says the bike is an absolute beast at this point. So I'm going to see if that's true. Holy smokes! This thing is a riot now, simply with the gear change. Man! It's brilliantly fast. Well, it was already fast, but now it's just a lot more peppy. But I'm wondering if I can still launch this beautiful girl in second or first gear with some smackdowns, but at least now in fifth gear you're doing reasonable speeds and you can actually use the sixth gear now, whereas before you really could not with the stock gearing that was super tall. Still brutal, traction control still engages. We're trying to figure out how to disable traction control, but that might not be a good idea because this thing just goes wild when you do that. So the gearing change is still good for track use, second gear. Very much usable, nice and smooth for rolling on the track, but also on these filthy, disgusting streets. It's great for giving you launch power when doing smackdowns. Second gear is awesome. Third gear is good too. Lots of power. Great torque. All we need are some better roads. We can really give it a run for its money. These roads you can barely talk. Because it's so bumpy. But having said that, we're here to talk about the gearing, and it is fantastic now. Now that we've made this nice change. So now we're cruising in fourth gear. I tell you, with the stock gearing, we would have been probably in second gear still at this point. My good buddy Boosted Catfish had some concerns about this gearing change, and I tell you, Adam, it's just fine. You're going to love it if you have the opportunity to ride this bike before the random drawing in August. You should try it, man. I think you'll love it. Valentine is going to love it when we get the amazing super fast best jockey in Cleveland back on this bike to slay more people. We got to put him up against that Kawasaki Ninja H2 again, because a lot of folks in the last video didn't get to see too much of the runs they had because our GoPro 360 Max had an issue. But we're going to try to get that race to happen again. Should be fantastic. Yeah, it gets up and goes. It gets up and goes. And this bike, for some reason, just doesn't wheelie very much under hard acceleration. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I'm going to stop up at State 8 Motorcycles and see our good buddy Dawson's Creek. He just installed an amazing SC Project slip-on exhaust onto his 2021 Aprilia. An RSV4. We made a fantastic video of the bike cruising in the Metro Parks. You can hear all the sounds and everything. You're going to enjoy that quite a bit. We also made a similar video of the Creek riding my M1000RR through the Metro Parks. Our Boston Heights police friends over there. Greetings, guys. So those are two outstanding videos coming up soon, but for right now, I'm gonna head on over to State 8 Motorcycles, where they have one of these bikes in stock. I think they're discounting it right now. To try to get it to move quickly, as if these bikes needed help. People just don't realize just how much of an amazing machine this is. If they were to ride one, State 8 Motorcycles wouldn't need to discount a bike at all. They wouldn't be able to keep it in stock. But for some reason, people just aren't feeling the Honda right now. I don't know why. Silly talk, I know. But that's okay. We will definitely give this one away, or our 2021 Kawasaki ZX-10R in August. So stay tuned for that. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, tap that bell and you'll get notified when I upload new content. So this is our version of rush hour traffic. Rumple strips on the road as well. But we don't get too much traffic at all, but it's enough to be annoying. Unlike some other major cities that are just ridiculous with their traffic situations: Miami, Atlanta, Los Angeles, New York, Boston, Chicago, just to name a few. Filthy Cleveland is not that bad. Alright folks, this is our exit for State 8 Motorcycles. Stay tuned for that video of Dawson's Creek and his SC Project exhaust cruising on the highway, well, on a backcountry road. You're going to love the sound for your money back. Thanks for viewing, folks. I'll catch you next time on the 650E YouTube channel.